From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Thursday, October 3rd, 2024.
I'm Andrew Burkle with the Free Press Sports Department. With every game they play, it's feeling more and more like this Tigers team just has something special. In a sport that's dominated by numbers and analytics and finding the slightest edge possible, there's really no explanation for what's happening for the Tigers other than, well, magic. Sure, the Tigers have embraced analytics, perhaps more than any other team with their weird openers and bulk reliever strategies, but that can only get you so far. Well, usually, that's apparently not the case for this Tigers team. On Wednesday, AJ Hinch's squad completed a sweep of the Houston Astros, ending the Astros' 7-year run of making at least the ALCS in the process. It's been well established at this point that the Tigers even making it to the playoffs was unlikely, but Wednesday's game just had a feel to it. The Tigers jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the 6th, but in the blink of an eye, they found themselves down 2-1 in a sticky situation with multiple runners on. Sure enough, the Tigers got an inning double play, jam over, exactly what they needed. How did they capitalize? Oh, by just scoring 4 runs in the top of the 8th, led by unsung hero Andy Ibanez driving in 3 runs off bullpen ace Josh Hader to give the Tigers a 3-run lead. The big inning sucked all the life out of the Astros, and the Tigers pretty easily hung on from there, showing once again baseball is all about how you respond. The Tigers celebrated big in the locker room, and unlike their celebration at the end of the regular season, this time they won't have to play the next day. The Tigers will be back in the Diamond Saturday afternoon at 1:08 to face the Cleveland Guardians, and this time they're guaranteed at least one game at Comerica Park. Who knows where things go from here, but let me tell you right now, no one wants to play these red-hot Detroit Tigers.
It's Clara Hendrickson with the Detroit Free Press. Governor Gretchen Whitmer urged U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to help bring home U.S. citizens trying to flee Lebanon amid an escalation of violence in the region with Israel's ground invasion of its northern neighbor. The letter from Whitmer to Blinken comes almost a year after she similarly asked him to help bring home Michiganders stuck in Gaza. Michigan is home to the second highest Middle Eastern and North African population. About a quarter of that population is Lebanese. Whitmer thanked Blinken for State Department efforts so far to help bring home U.S. citizens trying to escape the violence in the Middle East, but she said more work is needed. Quote, "It is imperative that we all work together to bring Michiganders to safety and back with their families immediately." End quote.
This is Neeraj Wargu of the Detroit Free Press with some news about a former congressman as he approaches the Jewish high holidays. Andy Levin, who is Jewish, used to represent parts of Oakland and Macomb counties in the U.S. House of Representatives, but in 2022, he was defeated after AIPAC, a pro-Israel group, spent millions of dollars to defeat him. Levin takes his Jewish identity seriously, and it hurt to see establishment Jewish leaders attack him. But as the Jewish high holidays approaches, he says he's going to be thinking of the people in Gaza and in Lebanon. For him, it's important as a Jewish person to pay attention to the suffering of others. It's part of their religion, he said. He says he's also been working on projects to help the labor unions. He spoke at some Democratic Party events recently in support of Kamala Harris, but he also took part in the Uncommitted movement earlier this year, which urged people to vote uncommitted as a protest against the Biden administration. He still, though, plans to vote for Harris this fall. For more information on this story, visit freep.com.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.